So sciatica is something that people have often heard of, but they don't really understand very well. I want to take a little bit of time to briefly discuss sciatica. Hopefully this won't be too confusing though. So even the definition of sciatica is up for debate in the future, depending on how you look at it as well. If you look at the nhs.uk describes sciatica as happening when the sciatic nerve, which runs from your back down into your leg, is either irritated or compressed, which isn't necessarily wrong. The description I tend to prefer though is from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, which says that sciatica is a broad term describing nerve pain, not a specific diagnosis. So what they mean by that is that sciatica is often referred to as being a symptom. So the sciatic nerve can be irritated, but we don't know what's irritating it. So you can have sciatic pain, sciatica, but when people say I have sciatica, that pain going down my leg, that doesn't tell me what's causing it. The cause of the sciatica is the diagnosis. So you can have sciatica through an irritation around at the spinal level. You can have it at an irritation of the nerve when it travels through to the buttock. You can have an irritation of the nerve traveling further down. So the diagnosis would be what's causing the sciatic pain, the sciatica. Sciatica in itself isn't a diagnosis. Another way of articulating this would be saying if your light doesn't work in your house, there could be an issue arising from the light bulb, from the socket, from the wiring, and from the fuse box. So a diagnosis may well be the wires have become dislodged from the light fitting through shoddy electrical work. Therefore, your light bulb doesn't work. The more broad term sciatica definition of kind of that description would be if you're in that situation would be to say your light doesn't work. So it's one of those things where the symptoms would be the light doesn't work, the diagnosis is the wiring is not very good there. That's why sciatica isn't always a useful term for it as well. It's not a specific diagnosis. The other reason why it's not always too useful is that with the different things that can cause that sciatica, there are some things that need to be addressed a bit more seriously. Like when people come in and say, I've got some sciatica, no other symptoms, no alarm bells ringing. If they say, I've got some sciatica, my foot doesn't move anymore, bit more concerning from that as well. So there are different things that can cause it that you do need to approach it in different ways, which is why we address things and assess things as thoroughly as possible as well. So the other thing is with the broad diagnosis of sciatica, if it doesn't tell us what structures are causing the sciatica, we can't necessarily treat it that way as well. So depending on what structures are causing the sciatica would depend on the approach towards treatment, which once again gets highlighted when we do a thorough assessment of things as well. So I don't often label things as being sciatica. I will label it with the structures that are being irritated. But the sciatica is more of a broad term used rather than saying a specific diagnosis. I hope this hasn't got too technical with you. I hope it all does make sense. But if you are suffering from sciatica, if you are getting back pain spreading down your leg or any other aches and pains like that, well, feel free to give us a call and we'll have a look and see what we can do to get you back on the road to recovery. Take care. Have a nice day.